The way I'm feeling about my life at the moment, it's as if everything is in this translucent crystal ball that's sort of balancing in a crystal cylinder, always in danger of going over it and falling and smashing. But at the same time, there is a twinkle that is coming from the movement that is quite nice because it's full of, I don't know, other crystal marbles. The light reflects it in beautiful ways and the sound is pretty, but I'm terrified it's going to be pushed off and crash into the ground and smash into pieces. So let's talk about book stats. Hello everybody, I'm Oliver. This is Chaotic People File, and I'm doing okay. Everything's alright. It's just there's a lot. I have a lot of feelings. I'm going through a lot of things. All of them are good, I would say. It's just that, yeah, it's what I explained. I hope you understood where I was going with that. If not, I apologize. I really wanted to make a video, but I haven't been reading loads and I haven't been watching a lot of booktube, and so I wasn't super in the mood to talk about books. January was such a strong month. I read so much. I was so on top of everything. And then February has been very stressful, so I haven't been reading much. And also I haven't been working on my own projects for the last 3 weeks, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I just feel like I'm very focused on these things that need to work out. As I mentioned, I'm moving and that's been stressful, and there's a few other things going on. That's all fine. It'll be okay. But I still wanted to make a video. I was in the mood to sit down and talk to the camera. I think part of it is also that I was procrastinating. So this is a video actually that I wanted to make for a while, and it might be too late, but I thought I'd spice it up with some 2024 updates. I just want to tell you about my 2023 stats. I read 165 books last year, which was more than my initial goal of 50 and is more than my official goal of 150, which is good. I definitely want to get rid of at least 200 books this year, but I've been DNFing loads as well, so I'm not really worried about that. And then I did meet my goal of 40,000 pages read. However, this was brought down from my original goal of 50. I've always wanted to read 50k pages in a year and I haven't yet. And because this year I'm really motivated to read loads and, get on with my TBR, I decided that this was going to be the year. And so this is the year where I am going to read 50,000. So I have made that my goal. Out of those, most of them are medium paced, 59%. I don't read a lot of fast paced books. It was 23%, which I think is more than usual actually. I think it's due to the fact that I listen to a lot of audiobooks that are on the more commercial side. And of course, I read a lot of graphic novels that I think by virtue of being graphic novels, they are classified as fast-paced, although that is debatable. And then 18% slow. I think I used to be into slow books more because I really liked the sort of navel-gazy, insightful thing. I still like it, but I have a higher bar for it, I would say. So maybe that's why. This is the shameful bit. I only read 2% books, and that is 4 books. So I only read 4 books that were over 500 pages, and I just really would like to change that. On the contrary, I read mostly books under 300 pages with 71%, and I'm comfortable with that actually because I love a good novella. So I think novels per se, I like them to be between 250 350. Otherwise, they might start to feel like they are dragging, unless they are really big books. Anyways, this year I just want to read more big books. And then this was another slightly shameful split. 63 fiction and 37 nonfiction. I don't know. I have been really motivated to read fiction this year, but I think that's going to change soon-ish. I think starting maybe April, I'll be more in the mood for nonfiction for many reasons that are coming up. And so I do hope to get to at least 55-45 maybe, or 60-40, more evenly skewed towards that. We'll see. But I'm not like super massively uncomfortable with that. Then my top genres, LGBTQIA+, of course, not intending to change that anytime soon. Literary, yeah, memoir, yes. So last year, I realized that I am still massively into memoirs, even though now when I go out and buy them, or I go out to buy books or to see books, I'm actually less interested in memoirs because I read so many, because I have so many. I'm like, oh, another memoir. So I'm kind of sick of them, but clearly when I do read them, I massively enjoy them. So it's a weird relationship that I'm having with memoirs at the moment. I'm definitely going to read more is what I'm saying. Then contemporary, yeah, that sounds about right. And then graphic novels, would not change that at all. And then format is interesting because digital is 7%. That is either a mistake. So sometimes there are books that are not in physical form, and sometimes rather than add a new edition, I would just put whatever it shows me. But also, last year I did participate in 2 rounds of the BookTube Prize, I think. And whenever I do the BookTube Prize, there is a lot of digital reading involved. And then 9% audio. Sounds about right. I anticipate audio will rise a little bit this year because I'm just always having an audiobook on the go. Although I also listen to a lot of podcasts, but already I've read like 3 audiobooks. Oh, by the way, I'll link down below to my story graph. Although I do hope to be putting, I should have said a little bit more here because now I'm doing it, now that I'm finishing talking about the stats. And then the months that I read the most were September, of course, because if you remember, that was a terrible month where I was an invalid for most of it, so I just read a lot. And then November, I read a lot in November. I don't know why. I was just feeling it, I guess. And I mostly don't rate books. I only rate a book if I really want to rate it 5 stars or if I really want to rate it 1 star. Although I think that doesn't happen anymore because I just DNF books that I am not liking. Okay, so moving into this year, I have set my goal at 150 books and I'm a little bit behind. I need to read 2 books until I'm back on track. I don't know if this will still be true by the time I upload this, but I'm fine with that. Again, I'm in the middle of a lot of books, and when you multi-read, if you can stand it, this happens a lot, that you get behind on goals and then you're super ahead because you're suddenly finishing everything. As I said, I have set my goal at 50k pages. It is my dream. I am going to achieve this year. Fiction, 53%, nonfiction, 47%. So that is actually good. I hope to keep it. I don't think I will actually keep it that way probably, but as close to 50-50 as I can get will be good. Also, it's very interesting because of course there's no, and I talked about this in my top books of the year video, link down below. It's also really interesting, however, if you consider poetry fiction or nonfiction. There are instances where poetry can be decidedly one or the other, but then most collections I think are a bit ambiguous. I have read 71% in print and 29% in audio. I told you guys. I don't think, and I hope, that audio will ever supersede print. If that ever happens, there's something wrong going on in my life. Please check in. But this like makes sense because again, if I read, I don't know, 7 books a month on an average month, I will probably listen to 2 or 3. So yeah, that is literally the split. Then genres, literary, memoir. I've already read 4 memoirs. Oh yeah. Well, okay, so 3 are the March books by John Lewis and Andrew Aydin, which is like 1 book, I guess 3 volumes of the same graphic novel series. So, and I listened to The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. History, I read a history book. Oh yeah, again, the March books, and I finished Other Lands. Graphic novel, contemporary, LGBTQIA+ is 6 on the list. I think that's a bit embarrassing, but I will go back to reading more queer books, I promise. What I really wanted to tell you about were the challenges, because if you saw my goal setting video, I talked about most of these, but I have since joined some really compatible and really cool storygraph challenges that I think you would like. So I'm going to link all of these down below. I just joined the color of the month 2024. So every month there's a color and you pick a book from your TBR. So basically how I got into these was by Storygraph saying, oh, we have challenges that are themed to like help you tackle your TBR. That's what I'm trying to do. Basically gamifying reading my own books. So color of the month, TBR Spin 2024, which is one of them, which is really cool because it's like you pick 12 books and then you try to fit them to prompts. The prompts have been quite fun. And I've had to swap already, but it's been okay. Then Big Books, Less Pressure 2024, which is read 12-bit books, hosted by Amelia from Amelia Reads. We'll link her bookstagram down below. 2024 TBR Down by 52, which is also Amelia's challenge. This is just read 52 books that you owned before 2024. Then there is another booktube spin, which is you pick 20 books, assign them numbers, and then every quarter they select two numbers at random, sorry. So that's really cool. And of course the Toni Morrison challenge now has a storygraph one. So I'm just really excited. I'm just saying, it's really satisfying. Okay. And the last item on the agenda is unread books. I don't know if you checked out my Read It or Leave It video, but I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to try this method. It's worked out wonders for me. The combo of having this pile of books that I'm so ambivalent about, plus the satisfaction of taking things off a list, has been a huge motivator, and I've gotten rid of over half, or like gotten rid of about half. Sadly, a lot of them will have to come with me because I am moving earlier than expected, but I'm perfectly happy to do that because again, a lot of these I've actually sort of checked out to see if I do want to indeed read them, and I've gotten rid of the ones that I don't. So my physical TBR stands at 705 books at the moment, which is still less than I had at the beginning of the year. And also 13 of these books are 2024 acquisitions. However, I have not paid for any of them. Some of them were purchased with Waterstones points. Some others were gifts won at a challenge taken from my job, and I had a book token from my previous job leaving gift. I'm pretty happy with that. By the end of the year, for that unread books number to be 500, regardless of whether they are new or not new to me, right? But I think that's completely possible, again, because it's not that I expect to read them all cover to cover. I just want to get to them, and if I don't want to read them anymore, then get rid of them. And if not, just read them. I still want to read at least 150 books. And I don't want to make that goal more though, because I do want to read big books as well. I'm very excited for March of the Mammoth, and I am losing my ability to speak. So I will go back to not procrastinating, doing the things that I need to do. Thank you for watching. Let me know how your reading year is going so far. Let me know if you have any cool stats to share with me. For example, I just discovered the DNF stats. Sadly, for non-plus members, you don't get time frame divisions for DNFs, but it did inform me that I usually wait until halfway through a book before DNFing, which I think is cool. I think halfway through a book is decent. I think 50 pages or 100 pages is also decent. If you're reading, I don't know, a 500-page book, you don't need to be 250 pages in to DNF. I'm just so pro DNFing, which again is not to just get rid of books that are difficult or that are a little bit boring. In my case, I DNF when I feel like a book won't give me more than what it's already given me. So some books are actually quite all right and might have been like the equivalent to a 3-star read. But then why? Why am I reading that? Whereas a book might end up being a 3-star read, but something that I will think about, even in its flaws, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's different cases. But anyways, DNF books, if you feel like it, is my message there. I have rambled so much. I hope you enjoyed this rambly video. Sometimes when I am anxious, it actually helps me have these types of videos in the background as I get through my day. So hopefully that would be helpful for you as well. And one last thing, I am selling a lot of books and clothes for a week. So hopefully I'll have this up on Sunday, the 18th, is it? And then the following weekend, I'm going to be packing and also having people pick up stuff. So if you're in London or know people who are in London and might be interested, I created an Instagram for it. So please check it out. It's down below. Yeah, that's all. See you next time.